Oh my goodness. I feel so bright. Why am I so bright? Feels like it's like so. Maybe if I turn on that light. No, that light is so blinding. Damn it. Is that better? Maybe if my head blocks it? I feel like I'm so bright. No. No. Ouch! Okay. Okay, come on. I feel like the lighting is so weird. Don't feel like it's normal. Ah! Don't feel like it's normally this bright. Whatever. Maybe I'm just pale. Oh, man. Hi, Shannon. Hi. I feel like the lighting is really... I feel very pale today. Maybe it's because I'm scared. That's a terrible joke. Oh, my goodness. Coffee tastes weird. I'm good. How are you doing? I'm like... I think the last video that I've uploaded was our last live show. I don't think I've uploaded a video since. I've been dead, but not really. I'm alive. It's winter lighting. It is. It's like so dreary. But I guess it fits the mood, doesn't it? I tried to make my thumbnail for this video super spooky looking. I just finished. I always do that. I always wait till the last minute to chat about the book. I mean, to finish the book, like before the chat. I know what I'm trying to say. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me set a timer like we usually do. Not that we pay too much attention to it. I'm tired too, but I just took a little baby nap. Like right after I finished that, I took like a 15-minute nap. Wasn't really a nap. I wouldn't call that a nap, but I rested my eyes. My sister is texting me, blowing up my phone. Anyway, the thumbnail was awesome. I did finish. I always do that. I always wait because I want it to be fresh in my mind. That's my excuse that I tell myself because, like, I want to remember everything. Anyway, rested my eyes. Yeah, sure I did. Rested my eyes. Scared if I napped, I would sleep through. I'm really easy to wake up. It doesn't take much for me. Like I'm fine. Yeah, 3 to 4 days. Yeah, like it's a nice pace. It works. That's what I do. All right. Overall assessment. I think I'm gonna give this 5 stars. Actually, like I'm debating what to give it. But I did just finish it, so I might still be on like a high from it. But usually I try to wait a day or two before I decide what to actually rate my stuff. But I think I might give it 5 stars. I really liked this a lot. I thought it was fun. It was fun. I'm trying to think of like my favorite scenes. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't know that it was gonna be, more like there was gonna be, like, would you call it magical realism, or would you call it, like, fantasy elements? Like, I didn't know that there was actually going to be, like, a whole 'nother world in here. I thought it was all gonna be set in our world, and, like, he's just especially, like, after the first, like, couple chapters, I thought he was just a stubborn child who just, missed his mom. But then I guess they would need something else to make 3 books, I guess. Yeah, horror or urban fantasy. Yeah, yeah. Choked on my coffee. Well, I should have gotten decaf, but I don't have any because even though I'm gonna go to sleep right after this. Yeah, yeah, 3.5 stars. I'm like more I some people are like better with rating their books. Me, I'm like the worst person to look at ratings from because like I rate everything 5 or 4 stars unless I don't like it. Like if I enjoy it, I'm like 5 stars. Amazing. Best book I ever read. uh, and like it could be like not even my favorite book and I'm like 5 stars. 5 stars. Like I could probably go back on Goodreads for this year and like change some of my ratings. That's what I should do. I should make a video out of that. I should always go back at like the end of the year or change my ratings for the previous year. That's what I should do because I need time to like sink in. Yeah, the nightmare. Well, at the beginning of the book, I was starting to get really annoyed with Charlie. Like he was just starting to really irritate me, and I'm like, I got where he was coming from, but like he was just his personality. I'm like, oh my god, kid, get some sleep. Um, but once like we got to like the nightmare realm, I'm like, ooh, I love this. Like the nightmare realm was like that was fun. That was like perfect for me. What I don't even remember what it's called. Something world. The I don't remember what it was called. The near world. It's gonna drive me nuts now. I'm gonna need to know what it's called. Narrow world. I don't remember what it's called. I really should use more post-its and mark stuff down, but I don't. Netherworld. Netherworld. It's called Netherworld. I forgot. I forgot. Yeah, I feel like I do get more critical as I read more. Like I think the longer I'm on BookTube, I get more like more critical of like how I rate, but it's still like a lot of 5 stars. I'm surprised no one's like giving me shit for it yet. Because booktubers, we love to create drama where there is no need for drama. Sometimes. Like we're the happiest place on the internet. And then we have to come in and just like just find the tiniest thing to create some drama. Because it just gets boring if we don't. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I should do that. That would be a really cool video. I think maybe I'll do that sometime. Maybe if I ever get time to make another video. I did record my Q&A, but I haven't uploaded it. I haven't edited or uploaded it yet. It's just been so busy. Yeah, exactly. He wasn't the nicest dude. It was hard to sympathize with him. Yeah, exactly. Um I think like a part of me like was annoyed by him, and then the other part of me like understood what he was going through, because I had a stepmother, but like I had a really bad mom. It wasn't like growing up. Like it wasn't, my real mom wasn't anything to replace, but I was more like stubborn, as in like I don't need anyone kind of thing. Like I don't mind that she's there, but you know, I don't really need a mother. But I was already like way grown. I was older. Well, not way grown, but I was older than Charlie. Um, but also like I'm like, and then another part of me is like, this guy hasn't slept in like decently slept in like forever. So I can only imagine like what's going on in his brain. Like like I go one day without sleep and I am not a good person to be near. So I can only imagine how long he's gone without like decent sleep, and that's why he's so miserable. But it was getting a little irritating. I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't care. I read it on ebook. Hard to post it. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little hard. I'm trying to because I have Amazon Prime, and you get free Kindle books. Like 10 free picks or something out of their Prime read things. So I've been trying to at least read some graphic novels that I wanted to read. Like I have like, I don't know if you can even see. Look, you can see your own text. But I have like Lumberjanes in here. But the only problem is if I open any book to just read, then it like assumes it's linked to my Goodreads, so it like assumes that I've already started the book, and I'm like, I just looked at it for 2 seconds. But I don't think that I could. I don't know yet, but I don't think I could read a whole book like this. I could read a graphic novel, but I can't read the like couldn't read a whole textbook, a whole book of text. Goodness. Great description of booktubers. Insert drama here. Yeah. I do have like some cool video ideas, and then I forget them or I don't implement them ever. I just don't remember. I got to write that down. Write it down. I never have time, and then like then I record it and I'm like, this is stupid. I'm just a mess. Yeah, my dad remarried too. But yeah. She's nice. That's my stepmom. She's nice, but I was already like grown up already, so like it wasn't the same kind of situation. Like I was already old enough to be like, yeah, you do your thing, I'll do mine, kind of thing. I was already like a stubborn teenager and going through my own shit anyway, so didn't have time. Prime reads? You haven't even heard of that? Yeah, it's like, what is it? It's like, is that what it is? It's Prime Reads? It's like a Kindle. It comes to like the Kindle app. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know how I found it. Now I'm confused. Yeah, it's like, yeah, Prime Reading or something. I don't know. Prime Reads? Is that what I said? I think it is. Or it's Prime, something like that. Prime. There's books that are available for you on Prime. Like they make certain books available, and you can have like 10 in your thingy. They're always backlist titles and stuff, but why not? They're free, but you can download 10 at a time, and then you just return them and get more. But I have never used it. I've never used it because like I forget that that's like a perk to being, having a Prime account. I just forget. I forget all these perks, and that's how they get you. They're like, oh, we'll give them so many perks that they won't use them all, and then we'll make money. Oh my goodness. Yeah, for short stories. Yeah, because I think you can do it with anything that you have a Kindle app. Or I think you can do it on your Kindle if you have a Kindle. I don't have a Kindle, but I have the Kindle. God damn it! Oh nope, it went away. The Kindle app. But yeah, it's like you go to the store, and then you do Prime reading. Yeah, Prime members read free. You can choose from over 1,000 books, audiobooks, magazines, and comics. Yeah. And then you can pick, The Boys. Yes, please. Can I add that to my thing? Add to a library. But you can download, I think, 10 titles to your library. And then when you're done with you return them. It's kind of like going to the library, if that makes sense, but on your phone. Like you get a limit of 10 books, you read them, and you return them. Or you don't have to read them either. You could just look at it and be like, I changed my mind, and you send it back, and then you get more. I've never used it before, and I don't know why, because I'm an idiot. It's free reading if you're a Prime member. I might as well use it. Almost threw the book on the floor. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, short stories would be great. Graphic novels is what I use it for. But anyway, yeah. Yeah. I'm like it's so busy all the time. Oh my goodness. And like school is just that's a whole nother topic. Anyway. Things we learn. Click things, yeah. Yeah. We might have just increased TBRs. Yeah, it's not a good thing that I found out about that. I'm not gonna lie. My physical TBR is disgusting. And well, you saw a picture. That's only some of it. Like my physical TBR is gross. And then I'm just like, oh yeah, Prime reads. And then now I'm like, I have the library at school and I have my other libraries and I'm like, so many books. Yeah. And yeah, but like I said, graphic novels it's been great for, but other than that, like my sister keeps texting me. But I'm like, yeah, it's a problem now. No, I have so much. But I downloaded the first Lumberjanes and I'm reading that right now. And I think it's always changing, like the books that they add and don't add are always like rotating in there, so it's kind of fun. My school library project. Oh my god. So we meet tomorrow, we meet in the library. For my art history class. Part of it is to see these windows that are in the library because they're Tiffany glass, which is a thing, an American art thing. But anyway, so we're gonna look at the Tiffany glass windows. They're like stained glass windows. So so that's like just a part of the reason why we're going there. But we're also going there to work on our research papers and all that. And yeah, I had to take that stupid tutorial about like how to use the library. It was one of the questions was like, well, not questions, but one of the there. Okay, so there was one, two, three. There were like 6 or 7 different sections to the tutorial, and you click on each one, and then each one at the end has a test. But we didn't, or a quiz, and I didn't have to do the quiz at each one. I had to do a huge assessment at the end, and it's just like the huge assessment is on all that information. But that was the part that was instead of reading anything this week, that was what we were supposed to do, was to do this tutorial thing and do the assessment and then send the assessment to her. It was so stupid. A whole section was on searching, just searching in the library. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna like punch a wall. It was really hard. Yeah, at least that's the only good thing is like I don't have extra reading like this week because I didn't have to read anything. And I'm like, so I can get started on next week's reading ahead of time because I don't feel that behind. And second off, it's like I already knew this stuff, so it was really easy, like it's just easier in my just in general workload and easier because I already know all this stuff. But yeah, it was dumb. It was such a waste of time. Eventually, I stopped watching the videos. I was watching like The Office or something, or I think I was reading actually while the tutorial was going on. I was just clicking next because it was like a slideshow, like it would like a PowerPoint slideshow video kind of thing. So it would like talk and then it would be like hit next, and I would wait until he's done talking and then I'd hit next. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't. It's so boring. I know how to search a library. I'm not an idiot. But oh my goodness, I saw a bubble. There was a bubble in my coffee. I thought it was a fly. Hopefully it will encourage people to read. You're so optimistic. I doubt it. I doubt a lot of people are going to show up to class tomorrow because that's like an option. Like she's like, you should show up to class tomorrow is like what the thing was. And I'm like, no one's going to show up to class tomorrow. Me, I'm like, yes, field trip to the library. Whee! I'm like, oh, can we do every class in here, please? But yeah. Oh, that's a mess. Izzy's got mad library skills. I do. I actually went to the library that day. I was at the library. No, I wasn't. Last week I was at the library. That's last Thursday. Yeah, last Thursday I went to the library and picked up 2 books that I do not need. They're both small, so maybe I'll actually read them. The last stack that I borrowed from the library, I didn't read a single book from that stack. I get all optimistic and I'm like, look, I'm going to read this. And then I don't. I have a hair in my mouth. It's from this hoodie. It's like, I got it. Alpaca wool, man. But yeah, I'm whatever. It's a library. You can always borrow them later. It's so true. So very true. Oh my goodness. It was just so stupid. Oh my God. Okay. I think I know my favorite. Speaking of this, going back to this book, because I just saw it. I think I know one of my favorite illustrations. I think I know. Besides Medusa, because we all know that was one of my favorite parts. Let's be real. For reasons we know. But anyway, can we talk about these bunnies? They are so cute. I like how the book played on fears, and it's like what you fear might be someone's worst nightmare. Oh my goodness. And I'm just like, oh my God, they're so cute. I'm like, can I have one of them as a pet, please? What do they eat? Hamburg? Oh my goodness, so cute. It's just one of my favorites. And it reminds me of Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail, which I'm sure you've seen. If not, then you need to see yesterday. But it reminds me of the rabbit in Monty Python. The second I saw this, all I thought of was, that's no rabbit. Oh my goodness. Give me away. I didn't know that there was going to be Gorgons. I had no clue going into this that there was going to be Gorgons. And it kind of made my life, because as we know, I'm trying to write that book about Medusa, or spin of Medusa thing. And by write it, I mean not write it. I mean think about it and never put anything on paper. But yeah, I didn't know that there was going to be Gorgons, let alone Medusa herself. I was like, when the first Gorgon appeared, I got so excited for you. Yes, I got so excited. Medusa. I kind of, the excitement that you felt for me was probably the excitement that I felt for myself. Like, I lost my shit. I was so happy. Oh my goodness. It was just so great. Yes, I've seen Monty Python. That's what I would hope. If you if you of all people have not seen Monty Python, then there's something wrong with this world. We need to rectify it. Oh my goodness. It was hard not to Instagram the illustration. You should. See, now you can. I just love it. Oh my goodness. The illustrations in general. I mean, look at Medusa. Look at her. And I loved there was a line in here. See, that's where I put a post-it because I'm like, Medusa, oh my god. I'm like, and the more I read about her, like the more I do research for my book that'll never be written, the more I lose my shit whenever she like pops up in a book. Like I lose it. Oh, that led to my favorite quote in here. And Medusa says, yes, she loves mirrors. She may be a Gorgon, but she's also a diva. One is a terrifying creature that can turn men to stone. The other is a Gorgon. I'm like, oh my God, I love it. I love it so much. So great. So great. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, that's his snakes talking, like that's what I wanted to do with, because I've seen that in other like renditions of Medusa, like the snakes talk to her. So like that's what I wanted to do in my book, and I'm like, oh, like it's perfect. I'm like, I must do it. I'm so excited. So excited. And his snakes have different personalities. He was a really great character as well. I think I've seen all the Monty Python classics. Yeah, I think me too. There might be like one that I haven't seen without realizing that I haven't seen it. They're just so great. I really should do like a whole rewatch of all of them. Josh would not like them. I don't think Josh has seen Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail like all the way through. But he would not like him. Him and I have very different senses of humor, I think, sometimes. I love like British humor. I could watch, and I have watched every episode of Monty Python's Flying Circus because I own the whole box set. I splurged one time and got myself the whole box set. And I love it so much. It's so good. But anyway, Medusa was Madam Makeover too. Yes. Oh my goodness, she was great. She was just great. Oh my goodness. Anyway. She was great. I don't know if I'll ever write my book. I don't know. I need more time in life. Same with my contemporary book that I've been writing. I haven't even gotten back to that either. My inspirational I call it my inspiration factory or my creativity factory. It's broken right now. Oh, the dark when it comes to pages there. I think there's an illustration of it. I thought there was. I really liked that one too. Because the dark, that one's like super relatable for me because I'm afraid of the dark. I swore, where is it? Yeah, there's like an illustration for that one. Where like she's like in the dark. Oh, it's so creepy. Oh yeah, the flying circus. His flying circus is great. Or their flying circus is great. Monty Python's flying circus. Oh, it's so much fun. Like even just like the few skits that you can probably find on YouTube are just great. Like the parrot. There's like a few like classic skits. Like there's the parrot skit where this is a dead parrot. It has ceased to be. That's a great skit. I'm trying to think of like the other ones, but that's the only one that's like really stuck in my mind right now. There's like the silly walks. Like, oh my God. I can't with it. There's a cheese episode. I remember the cheese episode. I forget how it goes, but like the cheese, I don't know. It just makes me really laugh. I don't know. I need to rewatch all of Monty Python again. Just all of it. Just everything. It's closed for the summer, for the winter. It's boarded up. Aw, that sucks. I don't think I had any of the 2 pages. Any 2 pages. Did you get like these like illustrations, like the ones like this? Because like this was cool too. That was a really cool illustration. This is with Dabney, the clown, when the house gets him. Yeah, that's what that one was like. That the one with her in the dark. It was like a half page one. I lost it again. The house stilts. Well, I hope so, because that one was very like, I feel crucial to the story to see it. Hey, where is it? I lost that dark one. Where the heck is it? Yeah, that one was maybe. You might have like had this on your page maybe, and then they just skipped that because that's like a whole blank page probably to them. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, they might have just got, one side of it. Whatever. That scene, you could see that scene without seeing the scene. That one was really vivid, at least for me. I'm like, yep, they're relatable. That one had like another like good quote around it. God, why don't I mark the pages? That one had a really good quote around it with like dealing with like depression, where it like talked about like depression basically. So my mom says that when she's sick, it feels like she's trapped all alone in the dark. She wants to escape, but she can't. And I'm like, that's really scary. Like that scene right there, like, oh, when she said that, that just got me in my heart. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I loved that too. I loved the dark was like, even the dark at the end was like, this is not okay. Like, we're here to scare, but not torture. We're supposed to help them work through their fears, not torture them so much that they don't move past it. Yeah. That's what I thought too. Like the book has some really like deep like themes in it. Like, I mean, the overall theme is that Charlie can't let go of his mom. Like he can't face his fear that, he's never going to see his mom again, kind of thing. Like that like whole thing, like that. I'm a big softie because like that scene, like where he's like hugging his mom. Oh, that scene like got me. I'm trying not to like cry when I was reading it. Like, did you get that illustration? Because that one's cute. But yeah, like, oh, look at him. Oh, so cute. But there's like a little tiny fly that is like flying around the light, the camera. So if a huge fly goes across the camera and scares you, be aware that it's a little tiny itty bitty gnat that I can't catch. Yeah, work through fears, not torture them. Yeah. Well, torture is quite a heavy thing for middle grade. Yeah. Yeah. Grief, depression, fear. Yeah. And I think like that whole, like Roscoe too, like I think maybe because I went back to school, like Roscoe and like his test taking, like, I'm like, oh, like he even got me like in the feels. He's like not thinking that he's smart enough. And, he is smart. He just sucks at taking tests. He has test anxiety. Like someone get him help. And I think like that's another thing like that Series of Unfortunate Events did, and it's like always finding like these things that middle grade readers will relate to, while also like there were things in here that I feel like we would relate to better than like a younger being, but they were like hidden in there. But like there's always like those themes that really touch base with like younger audiences, obviously, because this is for younger, but like Series of Unfortunate Events, like the big overall theme was adults don't listen, you know. But this one, the thing in here, like with the kids, like, you know, like you should be proud of who you are. Don't worry about people laughing at you because you suck at gym. Like, boy, that was me. And then there's, Roscoe, who thinks he's stupid because he can't take tests. And it's like, no, you're super smart. Like, stop. And then there's grief, and like it plays into like all those things. I like those. I like when there's like those little, it's like sneaky in a sense. Like it's sneaky that like they put that stuff in there for readers. Like, because I feel like we acknowledge that that's a theme quicker than like kids who are reading it acknowledge that it's a theme. They're just reading it and they're just like, oh yeah. But like it's like a thing, like, it's like a little self-confidence booster that's like hidden in the story. And I love that. Anyway. Oh yeah, his mom. Whew. Heart broke when he realized his brother Fear was him. Oh, I know. That got me too. I'm like, oh, like, because I was probably my sister's Fear for a while because I tortured my sister. Quietly sips coffee. Because I think the age range between him and his brother are about the same as me and my sister. And like, yeah, I was not always the best to my sister. Now we get along great, but back then things were a little sketchy. Medusa has a joke about how she's 39. Yeah, see, exactly. Like, I don't think anyone older would have gotten that joke. I mean, younger would have gotten that joke, but that was hilarious. So funny. Anyway. Yeah, friends can help too. Yeah, it's like that whole, like stick with your friends. And I also liked in this book how all of the friends were different, like completely different people, but they were still friends. And I like that. And I like that with Paige. Like they were talking to Paige and they're like, you will always have, these 3 random guys hanging out with you. But, which sounds kind of creepy out of context, but you knew what I meant. Yeah. But like, yeah, and the power of facing your fear yourself. Yeah. Like you have your friends, but some fears you got to face yourself. It was just really good. I really like the overall themes in this book. And the illustrations are like, I don't know who actually does the illustrations. I don't know if he does them. I don't know, because it doesn't. Oh, it does say Carl Kawasini. Like it's so tiny down here. He deserves more credit because I felt like the illustrations really added to the story. Why do they always make the illustrator's name so small? That's not fair. Should be just as big. Like, should make a whole video on illustrators. Like, look up certain illustrators and look at their works and praise them. Illustrator of the month. They don't get enough credit. It's like ridiculous. Yeah, leaves room to grow. Yeah. Yeah, see, in the Coliseum scene was really cool for me because I've been to the Coliseum in person. So it's like that scene was really particularly cool for me because I was like, But he like knew, and I loved the fact where he said something like, there was a quote where he said, Alfie's like, you were listening? And Charlie's like, I always listen to you, Alfie. I don't always understand you, but I'm always listening. And I'm like, that's like true friendship right there. Like Alfie rambles on and on about all his nerdy things and he knows so much and he just rambles. But Charlie always listens, even though it's like a lot of it is like right over his head. I love that. That was so sweet. Yeah, the illustrators should totally get more love. Like, illustrators and like cover designers, they really should get more love. It's really not fair. Because like I said, like that, like these illustrations add so much to the story. I feel like just the overall layout of this book, like this is a beautiful book. Like this the little page numbers have little spiders coming off of them. Like the little like headings all have something like a little different bug and different like they're like the most beautiful pages. And then there's like not only are the illustrations like inside the stories, but there's like there's like little tiny ones, and it's just a really pretty book. I really liked the like just overall in layout. Like this book is laid out very aesthetically pleasing. Like if I was a kid, like well, I reached for this book anyway as an adult, but like as a kid, like I feel like that's very smart because it'll get kids to pick it up more, even though it's, you know, a heftier book. Like I feel like it'll really be like gravitate towards kids and make it feel like they're not taking as long to like read, you know. But anyway, I have been to the Colosseum. Yeah. Yep. Rome. I love Rome. Rome is great. It's an amazing city. Super, super, super beautiful and like super fun. I recommend anyone, if you can, go to Rome because it's like beautiful. I was really annoyed because there's like this. I don't want to put her on the spot, but there's this more popular booktuber, and she went to Rome recently. I think this past August, maybe, or the August before that. So you can probably find out who it is if you do your digging. But she went to Rome, and the first day she was like vlogging from Rome, and the first day she had like a panic attack or something in Rome, which is fine. I get mental health. But then she went back to her hotel and was like filming in her hotel and like wasn't gonna go back outside. And I'm like, I couldn't watch the video. It was just aggravating me like to a serious point. I'm like, you should just turn off your camera then. Like just stop. Like I was so frustrated because Rome's one of my favorite cities. Like I have cities like Berlin is a city I would like to live in. Like Berlin felt like home, and a city has never felt like home like Berlin has. I could live in Berlin, easy peasy. But Rome is one of my favorite cities. Like, oh, it's just an amazing, amazing city. Like it's got that perfect blend of old history with new, but the new modern doesn't outshine the history. Like, oh, that city is just awesome. It's just a really cool city. It's like a city that doesn't feel like a city, even though it's like busy. It doesn't feel super like, I don't know. It's just really great. I really love Rome a lot. But like it was like so frustrating because like I've only been once and I want to go back to Rome. And it's like so frustrating to watch someone in Rome and be like, I'm having a panic attack. And I'm just like, oh my God, girl. So now you're going to lock yourself in your hotel room and not go outside? Why are you even on vacation then? Why would you go to Rome in August if you don't like crowds or heat? Because like just a simple Google search would have saved you if you would have Google searched Rome during August, because that's like peak season and it is busy. And it's like, I'm like so frustrated. Like I couldn't watch it because it was just frustrating me. Like I get from the mental health side of me, I'm like, okay, I get it, but I'll be damned if I ever let my mental health trap me inside a hotel room and not enjoy my vacation. But that's just me. Like, nope, nope, nope. I'm on that vacation. I will suffer through. And I think it plays into the whole mental health with this generation. People don't like to work through their mental health. They like to use it as a crutch. They don't want to get better, or they don't try to get better, I should say. And like, I just like for me, I panic sometimes in crowds, sometimes, not always, but sometimes when I'm really aware of the crowd around me. Sometimes crowds like happen and like I don't realize it. Like my body just is okay. I'm fine. But then other times I'm like, I'm trapped. And I'll just like get out of the crowd as best I can and then take some deep breaths, calm myself down, and then I'm fine. Like I've figured out ways to cope with my anxiety with those situations, but some people just use it as a crutch, and I'm like, you need to figure out coping methods. You need to do something. You need to take steps. Like this isn't good to just use it as a crutch and not enjoy life. Like you're missing out on things. And I'll be damned if I let it, stifle anything. You got to work through your fears. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, I went on a whole rant there. Love the chapters, intros, illustrations, and how they were all different. Yeah, they were so different. And his friend group did rock. Yes, I agree. I think that's something I really like in middle grade books is they tend to have like a really solid, either a solid friendship or like a solid friend group. Like with Series of Unfortunate Events, it's mostly just the friend group between the kids. But they also, then they end up meeting, the Quigleys and all that. But like, there's like the main friendship is just the siblings. Like that's like, it's like that trio. But the same thing with like All the Wrong Questions. It's like that friend group just grew and grew and grew. And I love that. Like I like a nice solid little friend group, even though I don't have that in real life, but I like that in books. What made me pick up this book? Honestly, Jason Segel's name. I saw that and I'm like, Jason Segel wrote a book. This was before Other Worlds came out or whatever his other series is. And then I saw that it was called Nightmares, and then the cover sold me because it's a really pretty book. I judged it 110% by the cover. I like dark middle grade books. With like, but not too dark. They shouldn't be scary. But anyway, yeah. I do have favorite cities. I have definitely have favorite cities. Dubrovnik is another one of them. I could live in Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik is extremely expensive though, but I could live there. Well, it's not extremely expensive, but it's most expensive in Croatia. Because it's like super popular. Thanks, Game of Thrones. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, like I kayaked in King's Landing now. Oh my goodness. But anyway. I will suffer to enjoy it. I will. Exactly. There's a lot more info. You have access to Google. Like there's so much information out there to like cope with your mental health. Like don't use that as a crutch because you're missing out on a lot of stuff. And like, yes, some things are debilitating, but like minor little things, like work through it, figure out like what is the trigger and then figure out how to fix it. Don't like use it as a crutch. I hate people that use it as a crutch. Like, ugh. I'm at this point in my life where I think every single person has anxiety at something or over something or at some point in their life, or they get depressed at some point in their life. So everybody has something at some point. You just need to know how to work through it. And I feel like we live in a time that people just don't want to. They like, I don't know if it's like they like the attention of it. That sounds mean, but like, I don't know if it's because we live in like a social media world, but, and no, there shouldn't be any stigma around it. Like, you should definitely talk about your mental health, but like, you should also not use it as a crutch because it's not good. It's not healthy. Anyway, could get on a whole rant about that. All the wrong question has had a friend group. Yeah. Yeah, like not too scary, but very atmospheric. I thought this book was very, like, that is the best way to describe the way this book felt. Like, super atmospheric. Like, even just the town itself was like spooky. And like we learned that later on, like he was starting to make the town like that. Like the principal. Never trust the principals. But then just like the never, I already forgot it. The Netherworld, like that place was, whew, it's creepy. But not like nightmarish scary. Haha. See what I did there? Yeah, Dubrovnik. Yeah. I think it's like Dibro. And then I think instead of a C, it's like just a K. I don't know. I only went there. Why would I? But yeah. That whole street, if you've seen Game of Thrones, that whole street where they do the shame, where she had to walk naked through the street, Cersei, that street, I was on that street and I remember that street very well. Like the steps that lead up, it's very CGI'd on how big the steps go up, and then that building that's right there, like that's CGI'd because there is a church up there, but it's to the side. It's not like in front, like those steps lead up. But yeah, I walked down that street and up and down those stairs a couple times. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool now to rewatch like stuff because like I'm caught up on Game of Thrones except for the last season, which I've heard is very disappointing, which I'm not excited for. But I'll watch it in December when it comes out because I'll buy it as a gift for Josh on Blu-ray. But yeah, it's beautiful there. Dubrovnik is gorgeous. Yeah, I kayaked in King's Landing. The building. Okay, King's Landing is like comes in here. It's like the little inland here, and then up this way. Like if you walk up this way, there's a little fortress building. I forget what it's called. I think it's called a fortress actually. Building up on a hill as well that overlooks Old Town, and like the walls around the city. But there is where the Red Wedding was shot, among a whole other bunch of other scenes. But the Red Wedding is the most famous scene was shot up there in that building, which is crazy. But yeah. Is like I wish I could go back to Dubrovnik just so I could just Croatia in general, just so I could see these places again. And now that I have context, but I was stubborn and didn't want to watch Game of Thrones back then. Josh does this thing where he like super pushes it on you and then you're like, nah, I'm good. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, he turned into, he got into the real world, yeah, and he made the story all scary. Yeah, back to this. No, seriously, a lot of places that I've been, I can't spell. Like don't, you spelled it much better than I would have the first time that I spelled it. I still can't spell it, and I went there. So, it's a weird name. Yeah. A lot of the sets on Game of Thrones are like real places with like CGI in the background. Like there's some scenes that are shot on Lokrum, which is a little island that is right off of Dubrovnik. It's really weird. So the island is where like the royalty used to live, and the other people lived here, like in Dubrovnik, but the royalty lived on this island of Lokrum. or they had a residence in the Isle of Lokrum. So there's lots of peacocks running around because peacocks represent royalty. And then there's also bunnies running everywhere. And there's like this legend of why there's bunnies running around and everything. And it's really great. So like our kayak tour guide, because we had like a personal tour because no one else kayaked that day, but he told us that there's like this legend that this guy was mad at the government because they were taxing him for having his rabbits. He had rabbits and he raised them to eat. And the government was trying to tax him and take away his rabbits because he bred them personally for food. But they were trying to stop him from doing that. So in an act of like protest against the government and the royals or whoever lived on that island, he took a female bunny and a male bunny and just dropped them on the island and let them do what bunnies do. And now the island is infested with bunnies and peacocks. And I just really hope that story is true because I tell everyone that story because it's so great. And it's such like a big F you to the government. It's like the most anarchist like story of all time. I love it so much. Oh my God. Like revenge with bunnies. Oh my God. I hope that's a true story. But yeah, that was the story that like our thing told us, our tour guide told us. But there's a scene, I think in the first season, there's the scene between Drogo and Khaleesi, as I call her. But there's a scene between her and him that like it's a really hard to watch scene. But like their marriage after they get married and their whole consummation scene, that's like shot like on the rocks there. I think that's Lokrum Island. Like I think because I believe like they're outside on like an island when that whole scene is taking place. And I think that's Lokrum. Because like the rocks, the way they look there looks very much like Lokrum. But yeah, a lot was shot on that island and a lot was shot in Dubrovnik and other parts of Croatia and Spain. Some of it was shot in Spain and some of it was shot in Iceland. I don't know what else. Yeah, so romantic. Oh, the rocks. Oh my goodness. I noticed that when I read the first book, the book made it seem like Drogo was so much more compassionate. That scene for me was like really hard to watch, and like the way like their relationship was all of a sudden like there was like a bonding between them, but like I'm like he just like raped her. Like so she's got like Stockholm syndrome. But in the book, I feel like it made it so like their relationship was actually like he was like super like patient with her in the books and stuff, even though she was like a child. But yeah, like the books made it so much more better for me. Like now I'm okay, but like that whole scene was hard to watch. But yeah, in the book, yeah, she was like 13 in the books. Yeah. I try not to remember the age. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, I flew through Game of Thrones like so fast. I couldn't stop. It was so good. So good. And I read book 1 and book 2 so far. But, well, listened to them. But, read. Same thing. Me, stubborn. Yeah. Never. I would never be stubborn. It's like goodness. I love the Bunny Anarchy story, by the way. That's so great. It's such a great book. But anyway. They were all like babies. Like wasn't like John like 15 or something, and he like goes to the wall. I'm like, okay, but whatever. I'm just like, I try not to think of the age. Oh my God, I forgot about this scene. Sorry, I just paged open to it. This scene with Medusa. Oh, she saves the day. I love her. God, I love her. Love her snakes in this picture. Oh, look at them just standing up on their ends. Oh my God, she's amazing. Anyway. Did I have a favorite nightmare? Oh my goodness. I think, like I said, I think the dark, yeah, some classics, the clowns, bugs, the dark. The Dabney, by the way, is very much like, Dabney gave me like Pennywise vibes, and we all know I have a thing for Pennywise now. That's a real problem and probably gonna cost me therapy later in life. But yeah, I really like Dabney. But anyway, he, especially in the book, like he really looked like he could be like Pennywise. But didn't like the bugs. Did not like the bugs. I really like this scene a lot. I love that picture. I think out of all like the nightmares, the one that scared me the most was probably the dark one. Like that one really got to me. Like that one was super relatable. I think, yeah. No, Dabney was I think so. I think so. Because Dabney was friends with, or Dabney was Charlie's mom's nightmare. And so Charlotte and Charlie's mom met and were friends, and then they introduced their nightmares to each other after they worked through their fears. Yeah, which I thought was super adorable. I'm like, these kids making amends with their fears, first off, is super cute. And then introducing their two fears to each other, and then their fears becoming best friends, like their nightmares becoming best friends. Like, I'm like, that's adorable. Like, especially that scene when they're in the car together. Like, this is just super cute. Like, I just can't. Like, look at them. Like, they're adorable. And then, like, there's something that there's something that Dabney says, or I think Dabney says it. Dabney? Where does he say? I don't remember, but he says something like, the illustration is great. But he says something where like, he's like, we are very different, and I don't think we would have been, or says something about, I need to find the exact quote because it's going to drive me nuts. He said something about why they were friends. Where is it? I think it's after Medusa does her thing. Shh. Shh. Keep it down. Where is it? Oh, here. It's probably like here. Oh, here we go. Medusa and I didn't have that much in common. If we hadn't been thrown together, we probably wouldn't have met. But sometimes it's how you make your very best friends. Like that, like right there. That is like, I like how that is exactly how, that's exactly how Charlie met his friends. Like they were thrown together, and they're completely different, but they don't have that much in common, but they're still like best friends. So I really liked that line because it like played back into their relationship. And I'm like, that's so cute. Yeah. Timer. It's been an hour. Yeah. Band of Misfits. Yes. I love when like there's like these, like the characters are completely different, and like, oh, I just love that. Like, so cool. I also really related to this photo. Oh my goodness, that's like really relatable to me and my sister. I don't touch people now, like even my family, like I don't touch people except for Josh. But like that was like super. That one was really relatable. I'm interested to see what other like nightmares they like do and themes they play into. There's like a really cool, I just saw a picture and then it reminded me of another picture. Okay, where is it? Now it's going to take me forever to find it. Okay, yeah. So there's this illustration at the beginning of his father and like his brother, right? All dressed up. And then there's this illustration of them, like the fake versions of them. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The fake versions are so creepy. It's just cool that they're on like the same page and the scene is basically the same. Also, by the way, look, there's a little ode to Canada. Look, it's Canadian maple syrup. I didn't see that the first time. Jason Segel is not from Canada, is he? I know he has friends from Canada, but he's not Canadian, right? Now I need to know. I think he's American. But he's like part of his friend group is like Canadian. He's 6'4". Yeah, he was born in Los Angeles. I thought he was American. He seems nice enough that he could be Canadian. Y'all nice. Oh yeah, I think we'll read book 2. I think so. Unless you don't want to, but I'm definitely going to read book 2. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm really interested to see where book 2 goes. I forget what it's called, the Sleepwalker Tonic or something. Oh. Ooh, this one's really, I really like the last one's cover, but yeah, the Sleepwalker Tonic. I see, like, judging from the cover, just judging by the cover, I see Paige, but that's all I see, just him and Paige. That might be Roscoe there, but I don't know. I don't think that's Roscoe. But yeah. Ooh, it's like shiny. This one's, it doesn't look green. It looks purple there, or blue or something, but it's green. It's got like the bugs all on the inside. I love the hardcover versions of these books because they're really pretty. And they got little bottle tonic there. A part of me, oh my goodness. Oh, wait till you see the little page headings. Because you know, it's I just love the way these books are laid out. They're so pretty. Like this one had bugs, but this one has something different. Oh, it's really cute. Anyway. But I don't know what I didn't even want to read it, and I don't want to read it. Don't want to read it. Don't want to read it. On the back, it says you snooze, you lose. I got this book for $3.99, apparently, judging by the sticker. That is a mood right there. Just this kid just passed out on the soccer field. Mood. For real. I can relate. These books are really pretty. I know I've said it like a million times already, but these books are so pretty. I really should look up more of Delacorte Press makes really pretty books. I feel like I've seen that company name many a times, but I don't know. Now it's going to bother me. I got to look it up. I wonder what they are, because I know they're an imprint of something. Oh, so bright. Ugh. bright. I know they're an imprint of something. Oh, okay. They're an imprint of Random House. I thought so. Oh, God, that was bright. Goodness. Anyway, sorry. I got like it. Oh yeah, maple syrup. Yep. Oh yeah, your parents may know me from other movies. I know. I read that. And that made me crack up. And I like how wholesome his thing like said. Like it's so wholesome. It's like Jason likes acting, writing, making music, and hanging out with his friends. And it makes him sound like so wholesome. And he's like, you know, some of the movies he's done is not so wholesome, are not so wholesome. Which is really funny. Changing up the formats there. I know. I don't like hardcover that much. I like hardcover to look at, and I like the way hardcovers look on the shelf, but I don't particularly like hardcover books. Only because of carrying them around. That's the only reason. But yeah, that's the only reason. I also, these hardcovers are like the Series of Unfortunate Events. I don't know, the deckled, see, yeah, there you go, now you can see. Like the deckled edges, which are kind of annoying. Deckled edges are just weird. Sorry, Series of Unfortunate Events. I feel like Series of Unfortunate Events, it works better because it's like a mystery. But like I feel like now people just do it just for funsies. And I'm like, stop. Cut your pages normal, bro. So I think it even costs more to make it deckled. You're like wasting time, guys. Just make your book. Oh, and there are more in town. Lots of houses. Yeah. Yeah, I think this might be, this kind of looks like school, but I'm probably wrong. I don't know. The cover doesn't give too much away, which is nice. Oh, the audiobooks are narrated by Jason Segel? I didn't know that. The audiobooks are probably really fun, especially if they're narrated by him. I like when authors narrate their own books, and I like especially when it's like a famous person that like narrates their own books. I don't know why. It's just like a preference. I hate when people write books, like especially memoirs, and don't narrate their own memoir. Hate that. I don't know what it is. Like what are you doing? Just narrate your own damn book. With the exception, like Bernie Sanders, I'm listening to his book right now, and I'm almost done with it, actually. I'll probably finish it tomorrow. I should probably pick a second book because I'll probably finish it tomorrow. But his book, half of it is narrated by him, but then the second half like gets more into the corruption, and that half is narrated by Mark Ruffalo, which is all right because I'm like, okay, I can deal with Mark Ruffalo. He's got a soothing voice. he's a good audiobook reader. I'm like, wish Mark Ruffalo like narrated more audiobooks. He's really good at it. But anyway. Yeah. Yeah, that's the only downside is that there are illustrations. Like if this was like a reread, I would probably listen to the audiobook. But like I really love the illustrations. They add so much to it. But I'm assuming we're probably going to go back to the Netherworld probably now that we can flip back and forth. Like now that he knows that he's like the guardian of the portal. But I don't know. I'm assuming. Otherwise, what was the point of establishing that whole thing? But, you know, we'll see. I can't wait to see what book 2 has. But wondering if the author was I did that same thing, wondering whether this was actually like Jason Segel. I had to look on the back and I'm like, oh shit, Jason Segel. Yeah, big hardcovers are too much. Like this isn't too bad. This is actually a pretty light hardcover. But sometimes they're like hefty. Like this one. Like Wondersmith, like it's huge. Like this is it's a monster. It's pretty though, but I really like that color. But this one's like, it's like hefty. But anyway. Oh yeah, deckled edges. No, because I think like all the series of unfortunate events like are deckled. Like I think even these ones are deckled. Yeah, these like new editions of these are deckled too, and I don't know why. Like it's just like a cool thing now, and it's not cool. It's just annoying. I just think it's been played out. Like I'm done. Like just make your pages normal. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really fussy about my narrators. Like I have to on Audible, I have to listen to the narrator ahead of time. Like I have to do the whole like listen to a sample like before I do it. Like before I choose what books I'm going to get. Cuz it's just like ugh. It's just like goodness. Cuz sometimes I'll be like, you know, some people do not know how to narrate. And they like will put you to sleep. Yeah, seriously, and like Bernie Sanders' book is not as relevant to you because you know you're Canadian, so like you don't have like the same like context. But like voting in the U.S. is very, very, very corrupt, and it's very much. It's just a stupid system. It's very dumb. Our whole voting system is broken and corrupt. And like I've been saying this for years, even before I could vote. Like my dad didn't vote except for the year that Bernie Sanders ran. He voted for that was the first time my dad ever registered to vote in his entire life. And he voted for Bernie Sanders like in the last election. But for some reason is not Bernie Sanders this election. Like he's not feeling him for some reason. I don't know why. But that's a whole nother thing. Like I just don't get it. But he like the system's always been so corrupt. And it's just like when you go to like I've always voted, always. I'm very much, you should definitely vote. I'm very pro voting. But like there's like this whole disdain for politics in America, which I like politics. Let me rephrase that. I don't like politicians, most politicians, except for Bernie. I love my Bernie. But like, I don't like the corruption in politics, but I think politics are very, very important and you should pay attention because it affects you, whether or not you want to believe it or not. And especially being a woman, like we fought for our voting rights like big time. We were the last ones to get our voting rights. Like even like black voting rights, black rights, like black men had voting rights before women did, which is just crazy. Like women, it took us the longest to get to vote and we fought for that right. So like, I'm not going to not vote. Like, even if it is completely rigged and bullshit, I'm still going to vote. Like it's my, like, people worked hard for that. I deserve to give them that right, you know, like I deserve to honor them by doing my duty. But no, like the whole system is very corrupt. And Bernie Sanders is the first person that I voted for that I felt like I wasn't picking the lesser of the evils kind of thing. Like when we go to the election, when we go to the polling place, it was always, that's how it was always feeling. And my dad, even before he voted, like he would always say, you're just going to vote for the lesser of the evils. You just have to decide who's the lesser all politicians are corrupt. You just have to decide who's less corrupt and vote for the person that's the lesser of the evils. And that's a shitty thing to feel, like going to the polling place and just feeling like it's not it's like, yeah, I did my duty, but then there's always like this like after effect, like remorse, like buyer's remorse, but voter's remorse, like afterwards, like, yeah, I voted for the lesser of the evils, but still, like, evil is still evil kind of thing. And like Bernie Sanders was the first time I went to vote and I actually felt proud, like, you know, because he's not bought. He talks about the corruption in politics that like I've been talking about for years. And it's like, it's so weird to like, and now reading his book, it's like a lot of his stuff that he says is like stuff that like people, especially people who haven't voted or people that like my dad or me, like people that know that there's corruption in politics and see it, and that's why they don't vote, like, or maybe, and they still vote, or maybe they are like me and they still vote, like, that's like a huge, like, I don't know, it's just, it feels like a weight lifted off your shoulders to have a politician like acknowledge that and be like, this is real. You're validated. Like your feelings are validated. It's like, oh, okay. So I'm not just completely crazy and, you know, all conspiracy theory is, but no, it really is that corrupt and messed up. But his book's great. Like, it's just like so much, it feels like, okay, I'm not crazy. Like, this is real. It's nice. It's just really nice. Who'd have thunk that it would be like a, you know, a very old man that says it. I don't care. He should be our president. America deserves Bernie Sanders. But anyway. This was a rant. Is he as over deckled edges? Yes. Publishers don't care about me. Let's be real. Every time I like try to get like, I don't know how some of these people get like so many arcs. And every time I try to get just one arc of like a title that no one's even talking about, I'm like, I get denied. Or I just don't get an answer. And I'm like, I give up. I give up. I would love to be on every publisher's mailing list. Yes, please send me all the books. If not, if I don't read them, I'll find them a good home. Your election. Yeah, I have a friend on Instagram. What's her name? I don't even know her. She's a really cute Instagram. Her name's Sarah. Sarah's Reading Nook. She's a really pretty Instagram, but she has like, there's like some travel. Oh, you can't see. Oh, you can't see. Sarah's Reading Nook. Yeah. Anyway, you can't see. But she has this, the reason I started for her, she has this really adorable, see if you can see. There you go. She has a really adorable cat named Olivia that she like posts in a lot of her pictures. And Olivia is a baby. She's so sweet. She's just an old kitty, but she lives in Canada. And we were talking about your election. And she was talking about how it was close and scary because it was so close. But you guys pulled through. See? Y'all got it. Yes, exactly. Respect and honor the right to vote because a lot of people fought for it. Yeah. Yeah. Like his book is really good. It's really good. And it gets me like fired up, but it also gives me hope. The fact that people like him exist in the political system. Like, even if he doesn't get elected, which there's some really dumb people in this country, so he might not get elected. But he's still like, it gives me hope that Bernie exists. And then Bernie has also inspired a movement. Like Medicare for all is not like universal healthcare is not like a crazy radical idea now. Like a lot of politicians are saying, you know, backing that up now. And then like stuff like that, like loan forgiveness for college students, like that's like a big thing. And before that was like a no-no. Like It's like, and his ideas are really, and the fact that he's not bought, that he is donations only from people, like the people pay for Bernie. Like Bernie does not, like most politicians, at least in America, have like a super PAC. They meet with they meet with corporations that support something with them, and then they pay them large sums of money to fund their campaign. Then that's how politics has like been forever in the US. But like Bernie is the first time that I've been like, whoa, there's another option. You know, like he's 100% people funded. Like none of that money comes from corporations. It doesn't, like, he's not paid to change his vote whichever way, you know. And that's relieving because like Hillary Clinton, like I don't, like everyone thought Hillary Clinton was like the worst, evilest thing ever. And I don't think that. I think she's just like every other politician though. But she was very much bought by like she was bought by the healthcare industry, like big time. So like that was where her money like came from. So universal healthcare would not be a thing under a Hillary presidency. But I do think that healthcare would be more accessible because she was very good at that when her husband was president. She was very good at healthcare. But there would also be some corruption in there. But yeah. Bernie's not bought, which I like. That's a huge thing for me. Like, I don't think corporations should sway your politics. That shouldn't be how it is. That's messed up. But it's just relieving to have like a president that's like, yeah, you get it. Anyway, the book is great. It's been really good so far. I'm almost done. Bane, what are you doing, buddy? Coming to say hi? Hey. Psst. Come here. Psst. Come on up. No? Come on up. Hi. You're not going to say hi? Just going to poke your head up. Yeah, the ARC stuff. Yeah, it just goes over my head. Yeah. Just goes over my head. Pretty cat. He's floating around. He's floating around. What are you doing? It's a potential Bane site. I'm trying to get him to come up, but he doesn't want to. He just wants to knock everything else over. Well, that's embarrassing. I brought up the broom for downstairs, and the other broom was right there the whole time. Well, that's embarrassing. Random thing. Ooh, he just rubbed his cold nose on my foot. Ooh, that was cold. Ooh. Bane. Get up here, bro. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel. Like he's very much a man of the people, which doesn't happen very often in politics. He's an anomaly. But he's also inspiring other people to be like him, like AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or whatever. She's a congresswoman from the Bronx. I love her so much. She's really great. But she's like, she was directly influenced by Bernie. She's Medicare for All, the Green New Deal. She created the plan for the Green New Deal, is one of the people behind it. And she's very much not bought and all that. And she just came out endorsing Bernie, but she like Bernie directly inspired her and like a couple others just like her. And I'm like, even if Bernie doesn't get elected, I think things are going to hopefully change. Like I think people are noticing that there is a change in politics in America, which hopefully in my lifetime, it probably won't happen in my lifetime because people are stubborn and uneducated here and purposely kept to be uneducated because that's people who are uneducated are easier to control. But yeah, like hopefully someday I get to see healthcare for all in America in my lifetime. That would be nice, but we'll see. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but it should. I mean, every other major country has healthcare for all, but I have like bills from like my last, remember I had pink eye. I still have bills sitting downstairs from that. Like, and I have great insurance and I still have bills. Like I think I have, which is really low actually. I actually have like a $200 bill from the emergency room, which is low. That is extremely low for the emergency room. Usually you go to the emergency room and you come out with a $500 minimum bill. That one's only $200. And then I have a $200 bill from the eye doctor. And then I think I have like a $100 bill from $150 bill from the first place that I went to, the Med Express place that I went to get the first initial place that I went to when I got my first drops. Not to mention I had to buy the prescription on top of that, which was like $30, which was cheap. Compared to, and there were drops that they wanted me to get that were $300 and almost $400, and I said no. I'm like, I can go blind. That's fine. But yeah, like those are low bills, like for like those trips. Like those are very low bills. Not to mention what I'm already paying in insurance premiums, like paying out of my paycheck every single week or every 2 weeks. But yeah, so like I'm still paying how much out of my pocket. Like then it's just, and I don't understand. Like I understand that like people are manipulated very easily in this country to believe that Medicare for all is a bad thing, that you're going to be paying more. You're going to be paying more in your taxes. But I mean, like just looking at that alone, I have very, very good insurance. Well, not very good. I have decent insurance. I have better insurance than some people. And I'm still paying all of that money out of pocket. Like all of those bills. Like what did I say? That's like $300, $400 that I have to pay still on top of what I'm paying every single 2 weeks out of my paycheck, which that's like probably every 2 weeks I probably pay probably about $100 or $200 out of my paycheck every 2 weeks. Like, and I don't understand why people don't get that Medicare for all would actually be cheaper for us, because in America, we pay more for healthcare. We pay 5 times that of healthcare than like UK. Like, and I don't get it. And like, I've heard Canadians are like, yeah, well, we're taxed for our healthcare, but we believe that healthcare is a universal right. And I'm like, yeah, we pay premiums and then we pay out of pocket. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like that would go away. Your premiums would go away. The paying out of pocket would go away. And then you would just pay a tax, which would be lower. Like, I don't understand why people don't think it's a good idea. Like, I just, people are just stubborn and they won't do the math or they don't know how to do the math. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's terrible. It's really bad. But yeah, the prescription. Yeah, the prescription was, like $30. And then those drops didn't really work. And then they wanted to put me on $400 drops, which didn't work. Which, I mean, I didn't get because I'm like, I'm not paying like $400 for drops. That's stupid. For a bottle of drops that are this big. What, like 2 drops? No. Yeah, people are really stubborn. But like, that's like, people like they don't go, like in America especially, like people don't go to the doctor. I don't go to the doctor. I put off, and like if that wasn't pink eye and it wasn't something that I needed to go to the doctor for, I wouldn't have went. I've gotten sick where I've pushed like what I'm being sick. Like if I would have went earlier to the doctor, it would have not been as bad as like putting it off. The same with my teeth. Like like I didn't have dental insurance for a long time, and I put off going to the dentist, and now look, like my whole mouth is a mess. And then that inherently affects your regular health. Like people are just stubborn and they don't understand. But yeah. But I think it's people are slowly starting to understand. Like it's starting to become more and more mainstream that universal health care should be a right. But yeah, super. Like my stepmom just went to she just had a surgery. Nothing serious. She went in for, which is something I was telling Josh about. I'm like, no way in hell. Because like, especially in America, you do not do just optional surgery just for funsies. Like, no. If I don't need it, I'm not getting it. But she just had like a tummy tuck. Because my stepmom lost all of this weight, and like, because she was diagnosed as diabetic, and she was extremely overweight, and she lost all that weight. Like, but she still had like a stomach, like a flab. I don't know how to describe it. Excess skin. I don't know. Like it was extreme weight loss. So she had like, I don't know, but she wasn't confident. And like the part of me that understands like how it feels. Yeah. Like a roll. The part of me that understands like what it's like to have, body issues. Like I get that. And I get in our society, especially, like there's a lot of body issues, but like, living in America, I couldn't justify getting an optional surgery and paying the money for it. Like, I think her insurance covered it, but like I just said, like I have good insurance and I still pay out of pocket. Like she's still going to pay out of pocket for something on that insurance. And they find sneaky things to do as well at the hospitals. Like it's really messed up. Like they'll find, like, let's say they'll tell you that a procedure is covered and they'll be like, yeah, your procedure is covered by your insurance. And then afterwards you'll end up getting a bill and it'll be like, your procedure was covered, but the doctor that did your procedure was not covered by that insurance company or something. Like they do. It's really like, if you just want to really like be confused and just see how messed up American healthcare system, like you could just Google like, or just go on like Bernie Sanders like Instagram. He every now and then he'll post like, what's the most insane bill you got at the dentist or at the doctor's that you came back home from the doctor's office. And some of the stuff that people post about, like it would be shocking to someone who doesn't like know what's going on. Like when I read them, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But like the part of me that's like, we should all have universal healthcare is like, wow, that's okay. Like to outside people, it's got to be so like shocking. Like I saw one where a lady, her son lived for 12 hours, her baby. Like she had a baby and he lived for 12 hours. And she got a bill for, oh my God, it was like $45,000, not $4,500, $45,000 or something crazy like that. And she doesn't even have a son. Like her son is dead. Like he only lived for that many hours. And then, so not only is she dealing with the grief of losing her son, she still gets a bill for $45,000. Like how is someone supposed to pay this? Like people go bankrupt. People end up broke because they can't pay their bills. People end up with terrible credit and then they can't dig out. And it's like, I just don't understand. Yeah. It's just so they make money. Like the insurance companies are so corrupt and it's like, yeah, it's just so scary. Yeah. I wonder, I forget like where that was. Like, I'm pretty sure it's on like Bernie Sanders' Instagram, but it was like reading, like even that like shocked me. Like, it got me right in the feels. Cause like, that's not okay. But like some of those stories are just like, they just get to you. It's just, the system is so messed up. It's so weird. Like, I don't understand how people read that and don't feel like something's wrong, you know, like, ugh. Oh, okay, never mind. I lied. It wasn't $45,000. It was only $600. That was extreme. Holy hell. But there are bills that come, people that come out of like emergency rooms where their bills are like that. But anyway, because he did a tweet and he said, "What's the most absurd medical bill you have ever received?" This lady, okay, so yeah, but still, this is still like really bad. So $600 for my son who lived for about 3 minutes. I was wrong on the minutes. He lived for about 3 minutes. He received no medical care at all, as he died almost immediately. He didn't get enrolled in her health plan, like because he was born and he was only alive for 3 minutes. She didn't have a chance to enroll him onto her health plan, onto her insurance plan, because he was just born. Yeah, so he was uninsured. So she got the bill. It gets better. From the hospital where she's a doctor at. She's a doctor at this hospital. She gives birth. Her son lives for 3 minutes. And since he's not on her insurance plan, she still gets a bill. And that's actually a low bill for especially for birth, because kids are that the bill from having a kid is ridiculous. But yeah, like that one broke me. Like that got me right in the feels. So I'm like, oh shit. Ugh. Yeah. See, like that's like the things like that. Like I don't understand why you don't see that and see that there's a problem. Like, fix it. Like, that's not okay. It's just so corrupt. But anyway, that's what I've been listening to his audiobook, and it's been really fun. It just makes you angry, but in a hopeful, look, someone sees me kind of way. Like someone else understands. It's a relief that a politician understands that. And yeah, I saw some people vote for Trump because he's not a politician. Like that was some people's excuses to vote for Trump. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Because they associate politician with corruption, but Trump is very corrupt on his own. Like, I'm like, okay, those two things they're not, they don't just belong to each other. Like, just, oh my goodness. I'm like Trump can be corrupt just because he's not a politician. Like, that doesn't make like any sense. But yeah, that was like an excuse that I saw, like why people voted for Trump, because he's not a politician. And I'm like, well, Bernie Sanders is everything that like we were taught that corruption in politics, like he's the complete opposite of everything that corruption in politics is. So, but he's a politician. But like, look, it's like it does exist. Yeah. So that's, yeah. And my favorite thing was when Trump got elected, I voted for Bernie. Well, I voted for Hillary when it came down to the initial vote, because it was a lesser than an evil situation. But I voted for Bernie in the primary. And I told people, yeah, I voted for Bernie. And people were like, yeah, I would have voted for Bernie if he would have went up against Trump. But I just don't trust crooked Hillary. And I'm like, that makes no sense. If you were going to vote for Bernie, why would you vote for the complete opposite, the thing that everything that Bernie stands for? Why would you vote for the complete opposite of that just because? But that's the thing, like in America, like there's like a lot of people that are like that, and I just don't understand. And I think it goes back to education. Like, America needs some good education, because people they just don't think. Like they believe anything that they're fed, and it's just It's just really sad, actually. And I live in a very like red town. I think Pennsylvania might go blue this time. We'll see. I don't know if Pennsylvania was blue last time or not. Might have been red. Red for Republican, blue for whatever, blue for Democrat. But I think, I don't know. I live in a very much like red town, like a lot of Republicans here and a lot of Trump supporters. And sometimes my brain just wants to explode. It's a very small town with people who aren't very educated, who don't want to be educated and are very stubborn and set in their ways. And it's hard to change their mind because they don't want to do the work of, looking, it's whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Like Canadian, like is very much like you vote for the party, not the candidate. Yeah. And I think a lot of people do that here too, because like you can't, like I can't be registered as an independent, which is more of what I stand, like I'm more of an independent. But I can't be registered as an independent, or I won't be able to vote in the Democratic primary, which the Democratic candidates, that's what Bernie's technically an independent, but he runs under the Democratic primary because he wouldn't have a chance as an independent. An independent will never be president in the US anytime soon because it's just not going to happen. So he has to play the politics game and run as a Democrat. But I would never vote for, I would never be Republican because that's just none of the values that I share. But yeah, so yeah, I'm registered as a Democrat, which is the more liberal side of things. the left wing, I guess, whatever. Yeah. Oh, it is reverse. Yeah, that makes sense because like your colors are. That makes sense because like Canada, I think red. I think Canada. So it would make sense that your better party is red. No, blue is Democrat here. Blue is good. Red is bad. In my opinion, not in everyone's opinion, but yeah. It's yeah. Blue is Democrat. And Democrats are more liberal than the red party is more conservative. Yeah. Like the Republicans are more conservative. But anyway, yeah. One depend. See what I mean? Like independents just don't win. Oh, red is left and orange is super left. Huh. Makes sense. It's just red and blue here. And ouch, I just bit down really hard on my tooth. It was either George Washington. Yeah, I think it was George Washington who said there's like a great quote from him, which don't get me wrong, the whole America and Canada and a little bit of South America was, all about colonization and all that. But George Washington has like a great quote where he's like, he like warns that America should not be divided up into, that we should not be divided up into parties. There should not be more than one party in the US because it will only divide us, or something, some quote like that. And it's very accurate with here. Like there's a moth trying to get in the window. He's like big. He's like that big. You're not getting in, buddy. Sorry, bro. I know you want this light, but it's not happening. You're just going to keep struggling. Don't get caught in a web or something, because that'll be really sad for me to see from here. But you're beautiful. You do you, boo. Yeah, hi. You're cute. Okay, so you're distracting me. He does. He wants to talk politics. He's got some things to say. Oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, it's some quote like that. Like it's some quote like America should not be divided up into parties because it's only going to divide us further or something like that. Yeah. Political party. Oh, he's gone. I think he's gone. Nope, he's not. He's not frantic. He's just peeking. Just see his little antenna. He just waved. I can't make this up. Now he's frantic again. But he literally like stretched out his one like I think he was stretching, but he like stretched out his one like leg and like waved. It's really stupid. The things that I'm like amused by. You're really distracting, Mom. But yeah, anyway, politics. Fun stuff. I don't know how we go from nightmares to politics because politics is one big nightmare. But yeah, we'll see. A part of me has hope and the other part of me doesn't. The part of me that has a Trump has Trump as a president right now is not hopeful. I don't know. Like even with this whole impeachment thing, like my dad said when I went to Spain, my dad goes, oh, maybe when you come back there, it won't be a Trump presidency anymore. And I'm like, yeah, right. I go, that little weasel, he'll weasel out of anything. I'm like, he won't. He ain't going nowhere. It is very overwhelming. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. And I'm very much, I like politics and I like talking politics, but like, that moth is really, I should get a picture of him. See if I can get a picture of him. He'll probably move the second I try to get, or I won't be able to get a picture. He looks like he's like trapped in between oh, you can't even see him. You can't because he's just a blurred flurry of feathers. Anyway, or wings, not feathers. But anyway, yeah. Josh doesn't vote and he doesn't follow politics. But the politics he does follow, a lot of times I think he's a Republican. We don't talk politics because we have very different views. He isn't a Trump supporter. I don't think. We don't really talk politics. But if Josh ever said he was a Trump supporter, we would probably break up. Because, and I hate people who are like, that's so dramatic. Like, you aren't going to be friends with someone because they're a Trump supporter, or you're not going to be friends with someone, or you're not going to date someone. But I mean, there's like, if you stand for all the things that he stands for, and you like, those are complete opposite like ideologies that I stand for and that I am, like, we obviously aren't going to be friends. Like, we can get along maybe like because like one of my coworkers is a Trump supporter. And I could get along at work, but like we're not going to be friends like or anything outside of work. Like, like it's because we have completely different values. And I'm sorry, I can't be friends with someone who's like blatantly supports a racist, sexist, xenophobic tyrant. Sorry, it's just not going to happen. Like, it would be the same way if like my family supported Trump. Like, I would disown my family. Like it just wouldn't make sense. Like, although my dad did say something in praise of Trump, but it's like and I agree with it, it's the only good thing Trump has ever done this whole presidency. And it is, you're right, right? Thanks to Trump, there is some great punk music out now. Punk has been revitalized because of Trump. Like, Anti-Flag has a brilliant album that's coming out. Like, it is gonna be great. I've already heard, like, there's 2 songs out from the album, and they are angry and they are great. and the album comes out in January, and I am so here for it. Bad Religion came out with like a fantastic album. Like it's just, he's just revitalized punk music. Thank you, Donald Trump. You did something right. Yeah, punk music was not what I expected. I remember when Trump got elected, and my dad and I, like, it was really sad. And I may have cried, which again, people think is really dramatic, but it's not. Like, when someone like that gets elected, it's scary. And I'm white. I can't even imagine what it's like for immigrants, like anyone of color, anyone who is of a different religion. Like, it's just scary. And like, it's sad. I cried when Obama got elected, but those were happy tears. But yeah, and shocking. Yeah, it's shocking. But I do remember I was texting my dad, or maybe I hung out with my dad the next day. I don't remember. But I remember one of us, either me or him, I can't remember which one of us said it. But I remember looking at him and I go, well, there's going to be one good thing from this. I go, Anti-Flag is going to make an amazing album. And like, here it is. I'm like, see? It's like premonition. Yeah. Yeah, it was, I think it was shocking for the world. Like, I don't think and when I travel a lot, people, and I think now people realize that like the more I travel, I think people realize that it is different. But like a lot, like the first time we traveled after Trump, like I think people thought that we elected him, and I'm like, no. And it's like, not even, like, he didn't even win the popular vote. And that goes again to show that the corruption in the political system. Like, I don't understand. Like, the political system in America is so stupid and corrupt. We have the Electoral College, which should not be a thing. It is very oppressive. But like, it's all about delegates, which are people who are bought. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's a very, like, it should be one person, one vote. That's how it should be. But it's not like that. It's delegates from your state. And a lot of times, even if your state wins the popular vote, the delegates from that state who are in the Electoral College vote the opposite of you. Even if, like, they don't listen to what their people want. And it's like a whole system that makes no sense. And it's extremely corrupt. And if, like, you break it down and actually look at it, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's completely stupid. The Electoral College should not be a thing. It's just another way to keep like politics in America super corrupt. It's really stupid. So like for example, like the Democratic primary, Bernie Sanders won the popular vote. Hillary did not win the popular vote, but Hillary got more delegates than Bernie Sanders. Like, saying that out loud makes no sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So because Hillary got more delegates, she was the Democratic nominee. But the people voted Bernie. It doesn't make any sense. But like, the delegates can go against, they will do what's best for the people. But it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. And each state gets a certain number of delegates. And then there are super delegates, which are in like the most prominent states. Like Ohio is a big like win. It's really weird. Like, if you ever really want to be confused, just Google the Electoral College and your brain will just it'll just give up. Yeah, it's really confusing. Like, Bernie won the popular vote, but then Hillary became the nominee. Hillary won the popular vote in America, like in the actual election, but Trump got more delegates, so Trump won. Like, like, it doesn't make any sense. If someone elected wins the popular vote, shouldn't they be president? Like, wouldn't that make sense? Like, how did it's really a messed up system. It's really messed up. That's why, like, a part of me has hope, because Bernie Sanders exists, but the part of me that knows that establishment is in place and knows the way the Electoral College works is like no. This is just going to be the same thing all over again. So, like, yeah, when people like blame like Trump, like, I don't blame Trump supporters for Trump presidency at all. I blame the DNC, which is the Democratic National Committee. I blame them for a Trump presidency, because they took their delegates and they backed the wrong candidate. Bernie Sanders had the popular vote. Bernie Sanders was polling like insanely far ahead of Trump. Bernie Sanders would have took out Trump. Bernie Sanders would have been the next president. There wasn't like that big of a gap between the popular votes and like because for Hillary Clinton, there was enough of a tiny gap that Trump easily stole the presidency. Like, whether or not there was corruption, which there probably was some election rigging too, but like, it was such a small gap that like it was easier to like be like, oh yeah, he won. But like Bernie was like polling way ahead of Trump. Because like I said, like people were like, I would have voted for Bernie, but he wasn't up in the election, so I voted for Trump. You know, again, I don't get that, but it still was a thing. Yeah, so I blame the DNC like 110% for the Trump presidency. It is all their fault because they're idiots. Yeah, they wanted to back they wanted to back the candidate they could pay, the candidate that had a super PAC that was easily manipulated. Yeah, the system's really messed up. Like, seriously, the politics in America, and I understand why so many people don't like talking politics and hate politics and hate politicians, because it is like so much like that. Like, it's so just overwhelming and confusing, and again, like, I think it's made to be that way to keep you misinformed, to keep you from not noticing, so that way it's easier to take over elections. It's easier to do what the status quo wants. It's weird. And like Bernie Sanders, like, always like, we're going up against big corporations and billionaires and oligarchies and all that. And people get so old that he keeps saying the same, like, they get sick of him saying the same old message. And I'm like, but he's right. He's saying this for a reason. You need to listen. Like, it is very corrupt and it's very messed up. And yeah. Exactly. If you don't talk, yeah, exactly. If you don't talk about it, you can't learn. Yeah. All of that is a way to control the vote. Exactly. And it's so messed up. Yeah. Yeah. And I think like, another thing like that goes on at just like, that's just like that's like the basics. Like, there's like even more like in depth of voter fraud and stuff that goes on at the polling places. And it's like, some places, my polling place is really easy because I live in a very small town. So my polling place is it's really not hard to go to or anything. It's right nearby. But some places like some people have to wait in lines, like at the polling place. I've had to wait in a line at the polling place. Like, I usually wait for the main, like the general election. Like, there's usually a line for that, but it's usually not that bad. Like, I don't have to wait. I wait like not even 5 minutes and I'm in. But local elections, no one is there, which is really, really, really sad. Not enough people vote in local elections, which is the people who are like directly influenced by you, but like that you can directly influence. But that's just a whole nother thing. But like, there's a lot of places, especially where there are marginalized people, There's like some people like wait in lines that are like hours long. Some people can't go to vote because they work all day. Like and like Bernie Sanders, like in his book, he was talking about that, and he said that you should have a 2-day election. Like it should be 2 days, and you should have these polling places should be manned by enough people that you can get the people out. You know, like voting should not be, you should not be waiting in lines and for hours to vote. It's like ridiculous. But it happens a lot, especially in marginalized areas, where there are like Black or Latino communities. Like it's hard to believe that that's a coincidence, you know, like ridiculous. Yeah, we have absentee ballots that you can file, but a lot of times like voting is so, it's not simple in the US. It's very much not simple. It's complicated for a reason, so that way you can keep people from voting. It's very messed up. And also, like, you have to register to vote, which I think should not be a thing in any democracy. I think you should just be born registered. Well, once you turn of age, you should automatically be registered to vote. You don't have to vote, but you should automatically be registered. Like, that should just be a thing. Like, it shouldn't. That is, like, registering to vote is really dumb. You should just turn of age and be registered to vote. If you don't want to vote, you don't have to, but you should just be registered. You shouldn't have to file no paperwork and go through all the process of registering to vote. Because my dad wasn't registered to vote, like I said, until Bernie was in the first election. And like, that's crazy. Like, my dad's like 55, 50 something. It took that long to register to vote. And that's like, just because it's an annoying process. And then, even more corrupt, in this past election, there was also in the US, there's also like a whole felony thing. Like, if you're a felony, a lot of times you don't get your right to vote back. Even if you served your time, even if you paid your parole, you paid all your fines, you still don't get the right to vote back in a lot of places. And that happens a lot with, again, Black and Latino communities, because conveniently, because you don't want, you know, poor communities voting, because things might change. But hi, Dame, you're back. Hi. But this past election, corrupt stuff happens, like, and I don't understand why people don't. It's weird because like it wasn't even talked about in the news like at all. But I always make my family, now I do. I did that election especially, but I always do it myself. But like, since they registered to vote in that last election, I'm like, make sure before the registration date that you can register. Like, it's so stupid. Make sure that your party's correct, make sure that your address is correct, make sure all that's correct. Because if your address is wrong and it doesn't match your paperwork, or it doesn't match your ID or something, then you can't vote. A lot of times you have to show an ID when you vote too, and prove that that's you, which is, again, really fucking stupid. And if you don't have a valid ID, you can't vote. Even if it has your face on it and it's like a day expired, you can't vote. But the last election, I made sure that their stuff was everything was fine. And I went over and made sure they were filed and everything. And I went on the website and to make sure everything was right. And their party was switched. My dad's party was switched. My stepmom's address was completely changed to an address she never had. Like, I don't know what that address was. And I think my sister might have been okay. But yeah, my dad's party was switched, and he registered as Democrat. And it was switched Republican. So if he wouldn't have seen that, he wouldn't have been able to vote in the Democratic Party, the Democratic primary. He wouldn't have been able to vote in it because he was registered as a Republican, which my dad would never be registered as a Republican. Same with my stepmom. Her address being wrong, she wouldn't have been able to vote. Like and that whole thing, like that was happening to multiple people. And some people I'm sure didn't catch it. Like, and that's like really shady. That's like when they talk about the whole Russian, like hacking the primary. Yeah, you guys hear me. I know you're watching. Just kidding. But like when they talk about that, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't seem surprising. Like that doesn't seem surprising at all. You know, like look at what happened with just my family. Like that's weird. Anyway, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But there's like little things like that, and then the whole system as a whole is really messed up. It's dumb. Yeah, you have to state your party. On your voter registration card, you have to actually state whether or not you are Democratic or you're Republican. Because we have primaries. So primaries would be just all the Democratic candidates. Like the primary is all Democrats. And then the Republicans all get their candidate and they get to vote in their primary. So there's primary day, but like everyone's going to vote on that day. But the Democrats can only vote for a Democrat if you're registered as Democrat. And the Republicans can only vote for a Republican if you're registered as a Republican. Which is stupid. I feel like you should be able to vote for whoever you want. But then they pick their nominee, and then they pick their nominee. And then in the election itself, you can pick whoever. Like in the general election, even if you're registered as Democrat, you can pick the Republican nominee. But you can't vote Republican nominee in the primaries because you're picking your nominee, if that makes any sense. Again, it's just complicated for a reason. It's really dumb. Anyway. Stricter on, oh yeah. Yeah, well, like you can't like go in and just look at someone else's priority and address, but you can check your own. And like I like made them check theirs, and then I went in with them. I was at their house. I wasn't like at home like but anyway, yeah. But your party that you're listed, that's not private. Like your party is not private. When you go to the polling place, on primary day, they have a book and they have your name in it. And, you know, they find you, they're like your name, and you find your name and you sign it. And it says next to it whether or not you're Democrat or Republican. And then they'll be like, okay, so Democrat, she's registered as Democrat. And then they'll hand you the Democrat ballot. So like there's no privacy there, which is weird. But yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. No, it's not private at all. Yeah. Not at the polling place. Yeah. I mean, you get to vote in that little box that's private, but no. Not that it matters for me personally. I mean, yes, I feel like it should have more privacy around it. Me personally, I'm very much a Democrat, and I'm very much like, I'm Bernie. Like, I got Bernie sticker on my car. I'm very pro Bernie. But it's still, yeah, you should have that privacy, but no. But no. It's the whole system's very corrupt and messed up. Where's Bane at? Bane? I thought he was just in here. Anyway. Went on a tangent there. I guess I should probably let you go to sleep. You're probably tired. I'm just jacked up on coffee. Yeah, we should set a time for talking about book 2. Yes, see, in my head. Education. You probably now know more about the political system in America than most Americans. Hi, Hannah. Hi. Now here's a kitty. You'll say hi, won't you? Come here. Psst, psst, psst. Hey, come here. You'll say hi. Come on. Don't make an ass out of me. Come on. Come here. Hannah. Come here. Really? You gotta make an ass out of me. Okay, anyway. Oh, nope. Oh, okay. If I ignore her. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Hey, 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 hey. Say hi. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What do you see? See? Probably that moth. There you go. She's my baby. She's so sweet. What are you doing? Why you put that paw down there? Put the other paw up. There you go. No? Okay. Okay. Hannah would win that battle against the moth. I don't know. As Hannah gets older, she's very much like a pacifist. Like she'll bat at it and then she'll just give up. Yeah. Aw, so sweet. She's so sweet. All right. Do you want to do... She's like rubbing against me. Are you licking me? What are you doing? Anyway. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are easiest for me. But I think that week is Thanksgiving here. Not that I do anything for Thanksgiving. I usually work for Thanksgiving. But that's on the 28th. So I should have off school the Thursday too. Yeah, last week is US Thanksgiving. But I don't really celebrate. I just burped. I don't celebrate any holidays, let's be real. But so basically any day that week would work. I think the 26th I might, like the Tuesday, the 26th, I think I might not have class either. I might be lying, but I might not have class either. Wednesday 27th? See, that would work. Yeah, that would work for me. Hi, honey. I'm going to make it green because the cover is green. So I'm going to make the notification green. Nightmares live show. Hey, oh, your breath stinks, girl. What are you eating? Ooh, don't lick me with that stanky breath. Okay, you can lick me. Who scratched your ear? Did you and Bane play? You scratched your ear. Did you do that? Or did Bane do that? Ouch. That looks painful, girl. Don't be scratching. Okay, anyway. You're distracting. Same time? Do you want to just do 7? Same time, same station. Can't stop looking at Hannah. She's so distracting. You can't. Don't look at the messy floor. Oh, is it on here? Nope. She's ducking down. Like every time I bend it, she ducks down further. She's like, no. All right. Got it. Live show, Hannah. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, you're so sweet. She's like, Mom. She's like, I hate this. You want to say goodbye? No? Okay. Anyway. She isn't. She's like, nah. There you go. There you go. Breath stinks. She's such a camera hog. Like, look at her. She's like, yeah, you see me. She's getting so old. Watch the booty. Where are you going? Get hit in the face with a tail. Say, Bane was stubborn. He didn't want to say hi. You want to say hi. You want to hit mommy with the tail. Oh, she's heading towards the bamboo. She's trying to eat the bamboo. Anyway. Still a tail. Surprised she hasn't yelled at me for grabbing it. I see those chicky legs. Watch what you're doing. You're wrecking everything. You're like a drunk. What are you doing over there? Why are you licking that? She's licking the pledge can. Leave that alone. That's not for you to lick. Weirdo. Anyway. Sorry. She's very distracting. I think she's trying to tell me something. She's like, Mom, it's time for bed. Let's go. Yeah, she wasn't licking like where the pledge gets sprayed out, but she was licking like the can. This is a weirdo. Anyway. We'll see you next month? Yeah, next month. for this book. Always good chatting as always, even though I get off topic and I talk about politics instead. Bernie Sanders 2020, guys. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Go get some rest. Hannah says goodbye. Now she's licking books. Probably a better thing to be licking. Anyway, goodbye. How do I end this thing? There we go. Okay, goodbye. Hannah, I see you.